Does the US government hire Ripple? In any case, a well-known XRP Twitter user is trying to make the point. We'll also talk about Charles Hoskinson. In this clip, he talks about why the Democrats lost the 2024 race. I believe we should talk about it. We'll also look at some other videos in this series that have to do with XRP. Guys, it's going to be great. Follow me through this whole thing. Jay Clapper did a post in about 2 weeks, or maybe a little longer, I'm sorry, but XRP will be 13 years old on June 2, 2025. Thank you for your birthday, XRP. Okay, here's Cardano founder Charles Hodgkinson talking about why the Democrats lost the 2024 election. Check it out. If you look at the analysis of the 2024 election, one of the reasons Harris lost was that he was against crypto. There are 55 million Americans who own crypto, use crypto, or know about crypto. Most of them are young and lean left. As a politician, why would you go and set things on fire? It seems like Democrats still don't get that they're going against what most of their supporters want, which is digital. We only want clear rules and regulations for digital assets, right? We know that crooks, con artists, and other bad people used the crypto market for a long time because it wasn't regulated. You get what I mean? I don't want to use the T word on YouTube because I know they'll remove the video. People took advantage of the fact that there were no rules in that area of business. That's why we need you, the people we vote for, to step in and make common sense rules about crypto so we can use it without constantly getting ripped off. How many emails do you get every day? They got your email address and started sending you all these scams, so it's not something you signed up for. Make sure your 12-word seed phrase is correct. If it's not, your Coinbase account could have been hacked or you could be hacking. They want to steal your money. Where are our safety nets? Ripple works for the US government, which is the only thing that can save the US dollar. Make a digital dollar that runs on Ripple rails. It should be a fully controlled asset like XRP, which is the only digital asset in the US that is clear. There you have it, the answer. Bad news for people who own XRP. Ripple just met with officials from the UAE to talk about digital infrastructure and speeding up financial innovation. At the same time, the UAE and Saudi Arabia joined BRICS. I don't think that's a mistake. The Middle East is being taken over by XRP. Let's put the pieces together. A partner of Ripple is the State Bank of Saudi Arabia. Ripple now goes by the name Ripple Payments and has live lanes in the UAE for demand liquidity. The fact that Ripple's Route 1023 took place in Dubai brings to light the idea that the Middle East is at the center of the new financial system. And this is what no one is talking about. XRP is Sharia compliant, which means it follows Islamic finance rules like sharing risks, being open, and not charging interest. This means it can be used in the world of Islamic banking, which manages over $3 trillion, 0 cents, in assets. Today, there is yet another chance Donald Trump has been seen signing new deals in the Middle East to push for economic and political growth. This means that the US is trying to get closer to Saudi Arabia. The petrodollar system is dying out, and the dollar is taking its place. The US dollar is about to get a new look, and Donald Trump is working on that right now. The US dollar is no longer a reserve currency, and XRP is not just a short-term idea. Quick question for you. What will be used for trade around the world if not the US dollar? I'm not kidding. How much money? Because most governments aren't sure they can trust a cryptocurrency yet. I don't believe we're quite there yet. I don't believe, but not that I believe dollarization isn't happening. I just don't think it's happening as quickly as some people think it is. Okay? The yuan is one of your other big currencies, right? The Chinese yuan has a problem in that 90% of it is kept in China. It's not kept as a backup currency around the world. Dear Russia, stop it. Don't even talk to me, okay? It looks like their whole economy is falling apart, right? They depend on oil production, and Ukraine has been going after almost all of Russia's oil producers. That's not a real money that will be used all over the world, right? They do have the Swiss franc, which could be used, but it's not really seen as the world's reserve currency. Where do you go? Do you visit XRP? If so, is that going to happen? The United States has the biggest financial market in the world, but there are no rules about it. Are you sure the US will give up all of its power? I don't believe that. I just believe that some people are not getting this. I do believe that de-dollarization is taking place. It's just going to take a few more decades. That's how I personally feel. Please, wait a moment. I'd love to be wrong about that and have this turn into something else. Google it. What other money is used around the world? What do you know? Let's do this. If that word, dollarization, keeps coming up, I may have spelled it wrong. Take away the dollar, it will fix it. Take away the dollar. Could I do that? Not at all. Dollarization means that governments are moving away from the US dollar. What kind of money could fill the gap around the world? Let's find out. Let's look at this too while that's doing its math. 100 million names of asset managers as of now, only XRP meets the requirement. Please excuse me. 100 million names of asset managers. XRP is the only alternative currency that can work with a Bitcoin plan. And I have no idea what that is. I can't see what you see. A $100 billion 0-cent asset management company called WisenTree put out a study that says XRP is a good altcoin for long-term portfolio strategy, along with Bitcoin. In a recent tweet, community researcher Smoke brought attention to this study. The study sees XRP not as a risky asset, but as a legal addition to Bitcoin that doesn't have a diversified crypto allocation. The company's study shows that big investors aren't happy with just investing in one mega-cap cryptocurrency anymore, since Bitcoin is getting all the attention in the news and on ETFs. It sounds like WisdomTree is saying that XRP should be the next asset that governments and businesses look at. Okay, let's try to understand this better. The yuan is the most talked about option because it is backed by China, which has the second largest economy in the world. China has worked hard to get the yuan used in trade deals, especially with BRICS countries, and through mutual agreements with more than 40 other countries. The IMF said that the yuan could be used around the world. Oh, they mean the yuan, right? The euro is the second most important reserve currency in the world, and it is used a lot in foreign trade. That can't be the one, of course. The euro would likely be the most sought-after asset besides the dollar. In other words, that's what you see, right? But are we really going to give up the US? I have nothing against the euro, that's all I mean. I don't see many countries or businesses saying they're buying euros or stocking up on them. I'm not sure. Okay, this is a list of the 50 most expensive companies right now. In order to learn more, I wanted to know which cryptocurrencies would be the biggest if these businesses use them. And of course, you'd be right if you had yelled out Solana or XRP. This also put Cardano and BNB up there. That being said, I'm not going to touch BNB right now because of all the problems with CZ. I still think Binance is the best option. XRP and Cardano are both great options. I would also add HBAR, Ondo, and Velo. Obviously, those are also great things to look at Chainlink. Using Chainlink and Ondo to move tokenized treasuries outside of JP Morgan's private network, the company settles its first trade on a public blockchain. Seeing this right now is connectivity at work. What an amazing sight. For tokenized assets in central banks, there is also Project Pi, the BIS, and the Federal Reserve. The technologies that make payments and stocks possible may be changing. Some people think that using programmable digital tokens to represent assets on shared platforms is the way of the future.